Welcome back to the Tim Show. I'm Tim, your host, and for today's episode, I'll be recapping Sunday night's victory over the New York Giants, as well as giving my thoughts on this upcoming game against our AFC foe, the Baltimore Ravens. Now let's get to that Giants game, and I think anyone who watched this would agree that it was a complete snooze fest, especially the first half, because both offenses came out and looked like complete jokes. Let's start with the Giants. Russell Wilson did not play well. In the first half, he had 2 turnovers, kind of squandered some opportunities that they did have. But outside of that, their offense just could not get anything going. The only bright spots I would say would be their running game. To the start of the game, Tyrone Tracy came out running well, then he got hurt. And then Scatterbull came out, and he was probably the most entertainment we had in this game. He had a lone score, back flipping in the end zone. He was spinning off people, running over people, catching balls out of the backfield. I do think that when healthy, they do have a good young 1-2 attack in their running game, which probably led to the benching of Russell Wilson outside of like Dable might get fired. So might as well put all your chips on the table and go with the young Jackson Dart for the rest of the season. That's what they did. Now let's get to the Chiefs. Coming into this game, the Giants were ranked dead last in stopping the run. So a part of the game plan is normally coaches script the first 15 plays. So we had, on our first possession, we had a 12-play drive. 10 of those plays were passing plays. The first 2 games against the Giants, the Commanders and the Cowboys ran all over them, up and down the field. Andy Reid, being one of the greatest offensive minds in the history of football, came out passing the ball against a team who can't stop the run. If that's not a coaching blunder, then I don't know what is. And it showed. That's why we came out flat. Patrick Mahomes, again, was running all around the world because he didn't have any time. And to credit the Giants' front four, they're good. They got some studs on their line. They're good. But a balanced offense is what helps settles a quarterback down. If you look at Travis Kelce, right, and you see a lot of those errant throws that's intended to him. And again, we could blame Mahomes or we could blame Kelce. But I want to blame both of them because they're just not in sync right now. And yes, we all know Travis Kelce has declined a little bit. But the one thing that we could always bank on was them two being on the same page. And I think a part of that comes from Mahomes not getting enough protection. He has happy feet in the pocket. And Kelce may be turning outside and he's thinking he's turning inside. And that's why we're getting a lot of errant throws intended for Travis Kelce. And that's just my opinion on that. Now let's get to Isaiah Pacheco, because I think in this first half, he completely forgot how to catch the ball out of the backfield. On these 2 plays, and we're going to call them the backwards passes, he looked completely lost. I don't know what he was doing. He ran backwards when the play is going this way. If it wasn't for Mahomes giving his 100% effort and snatching the ball out of one of the Giants defenders' hands, the Giants would have had the ball on the goal line. This game could be completely different if it wasn't for that heads-up play by Mahomes. Now, granted, he threw the ball, but the effort just showed. And I just don't know what Pacheco was doing on this play. But neither here nor there. The moral of this first half was the game plan should have been, let's try to establish some type of running game. Jawan Taylor, again, he was bad. If it's not a penalty, he was just letting people just run right past him, which forced some errant throws by Mahomes. We do have a replacement for him. They spent a lot of money on Jalen Moore. Try him. Put him in the game. Again, another coaching blunder. And I feel like me and the fans are saying, we sound repetitive. We're saying the same thing week in and week out. I'm watching film. It's their job to watch film. And I'm sure they are seeing the same things that we keep complaining about. We need to make a change. Now let's get to special teams because Bucker, who's top 5 kicker in the league, clutch, um, got to give out all his accolades before we talk down on him. He's been inconsistent. He's missed a field goal or an extra point in each one of these 3 games. Now, when you have an offense who is struggling to score points, we cannot afford to miss field goals and extra points. We will not beat good teams that way. Now, let's get to the second half, which was a complete 360 from what we seen in the first. In our first possession, we had 11 play drive. We ran the ball 6 out of 11 times, which led to a touchdown. In the back of the end zone, Taquan Thornton made a good play, a good throw by Mahomes. It's something that us as fans have been complaining about for a while, was just getting a balanced offense. And we came out in that second half with that thought. Maybe coaching staff went back and watched the tape and seen that the Giants can't stop the run. We got another score in that second half, and our offense looked like it settled down. Mahomes looked like he was more comfortable. Taquan Thornton, again, he is emerging as a big play receiver, somebody that Mahomes trusts. They're not 100% in sync yet, but again, it's only a third game together, and as time passes, I believe that relationship will progress, especially when Rashee Rice come back and when Xavier Worthy come back. I'm like what I'm seeing out of him. I did like the fact that we did incorporate Brashard Smith into the offense. He got an opportunity. He had 2 carries for 13 yards. One was a jet sweep. Another one was one of those like backward passes. He didn't get a run in between the tackles, but you could see that he's an explosive guy, and it's something that we're missing. Pacheco had a decent game. Kareem Hunt had a touchdown in a decent game. Our defense played phenomenal. A part of Russell Wilson not looking good was because Spags had a great game plan to take away Malik Neighbors. He was a complete no-show. He had 2 catches for 13 yards, which is unacceptable for a number 1 wide receiver. And if you could take another team's wide receiver out of a game completely like that, it will hinder any type of offense. Doesn't matter who's a quarterback playing. But again, picking up where we left off against the Eagles, our defense is starting to come around. We're seeing some emergence from young guys like Noah Williams. He's actually ranked 3rd amongst cornerbacks in the short season, which is incredible. He was a 3rd-round pick. Brett Veach just hits on these secondary guys, which is a good thing because Spags like to run a lot of press coverage, and having Jalen Watson, who caught an interception in this game, and Noah Williams manning down their guys allows Trent McDuffie to be the best player that we need him to be. And it's just a good thing to see. Overall, I'm not going to say this was a great win. The only good thing that came out of it was we got a victory and we avoided going 0-3, and I'm always going to cheer for that. But it was the Giants, and we did look sloppy. Now let's get to Sunday's game against the Ravens. It's in Arrowhead. It's a rematch of the famous toe game, I will call it. Last year's opening game, Isaiah Likely's toe was on the line. I was actually at that game, and where I was sitting at, we called it. So we was happy that play was reversed, but I'm sure the Ravens fans and the Ravens were not. They was very vocal about that, and I'm sure they're coming in to get their lick back. Both teams come into this game with records of 1-2. Neither one of us want to go down 1-3. That's a tough hole to get out of early in the season. Now, the Ravens seem like they've been scoring 40 points a game, and every defensive coordinator know it's a nightmare when you have to defend Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and the cast that is the Baltimore Ravens. Coming into this game, the Ravens do open up as the favorites, which is kind of rare, especially in on the road in Arrowhead. The Chiefs are underdogs. This might be a nice play if you want to take Chiefs money line or even Chiefs plus 2.5, which is plus money. But the Ravens do have some injuries, notable names, Kyle Van Noy and Rodney Stanley. It's going to be a tough hill, regardless of who plays and who don't. Both teams know each other very well. Harbaugh is from the Andy Reid tree, so he do know Andy Reid well. He doesn't have much success against him, but familiarity is a big thing when it comes to matchups like this. Um, I'm curious to see what Spags do because again, you have to take away one of them. You can't let Lamar run crazy and pass crazy because his arm, Lamar has become a very, I think Lamar is like number one in quarterback rating ever. So he's a great passing quarterback as well. And we know what he do with his legs. And we can't allow Derrick Henry to be Derrick Henry as well. So you have to take away one. I believe we should take away Derrick Henry and we could get him off the field on third downs, meaning they're not in third and shorts, they're in third and longs. And we could just focus on Lamar Jackson and his running ability and his passing ability and all of the big play guys that he have, like Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely, who might be playing in his game. And I'm sure if he is, he's ready for this matchup. Zay Flowers, did I say him? Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman and all other things that they have. DeAndre Hopkins will be playing in this game as well. So Lamar do have a plethora of weapons, and it's going to be a tough task for our defense. But I believe we could stop them from scoring 40 points, and it's gonna take us to control the clock and control the pace and the tempo of this game. Now that goes over to their defense, and which is one of the reasons why I believe they are 1-2 because they are ranked last on defense, second to last in stopping the run, and last in stopping the pass. And they're giving up big plays, which lean into our favor because I believe Xavier Worthy will play in this game. Now, I don't know how much of a factor he will be, how many plays he'll get, but just having another deep threat on the field next to the emerging star in Tyquan Thornton, oh, it can't do any bad for anybody. I'm going to say this again. I think that we should come out and establish the run because they have shown that they cannot stop it. And without Kyle Van Noy and other notable names on defense, that's something I think we should lean on. I believe, and just watching Andy, he always pulls a rabbit out of the hat. I believe this will be the Brashard Smith game. I truly do. I'm not just saying this just to say it. I think they held him just enough for this game. His explosiveness is something that could help us to, one, control the clock and keep Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson off the field, and two, just have some type of balanced attack on offense. I think we're going to have to score some points. So, Bucker, get your foot ready. Get your leg ready. We're going to need every freaking field goal, every freaking extra point that we can get from you. And I'm going to take my Chiefs. I'm going to have a final score of 31-24.